My parents have never forgiven me for not becoming a doctor. I should have gone to medical school and I didn't. And then they offered, instead I was accepted to do neurobiology at Sussex University, and I went to art school instead. But I just tell you that because then I had some experience of science at school. And I'm a bit nervous here because I have 3 very important teachers for me in the room. So I'd like to do a little experiment, the first person experiment. I'd invite everybody to join, and I can tell you in advance that it doesn't involve any dancing, but it involves some movement. And the movement involves this, closing and opening a hand. So it's really, really simple. And if you'd like to join me, then please stand up. And you don't need to put stuff away because we won't move very much. But you just go for a little walk for a moment. A little walk. And find yourself a place to stand. A place to stand in the space. And then just stand there for a moment. And I'd like you to notice left and right, whatever that means. Left and right. You can look a little bit to the left, look a little bit to the right. And just see how you are the centre of your universe. The universe is infinitely big. How do you experience the universe divided into left and right? Does one side of the universe seem bigger to you than the other? It might help just to now I'd invite everyone to close their eyes and just feel that. It's a funny question, and this is like we've just established the baseline. It's like hot in a message. But right now, just notice with the eyes closed, you feel more aware of what's on the left of you or more aware of what's on the right of you? Does your body feel different at 2 sides? And if there's 2 things here. One is the feeling inside of yourself, and the other is the projection out into space. Does one side feel bigger than the other? I was inspired to offer this because, as an experiment because I encounter often among the general public with which I work a lot, people seem to miss the subtlety of left and right. And even working with dancers, there tends to be a sense of guiltiness of not experiencing left and right as equal. So now I would invite you just to open your eyes, and we'll just do a couple of things just to explore and experiment this difference, because it's quite subtle. Just walk for a moment. And then stop walking. And bring yourself to a neutral place. And then again, take a few steps forward and stop. And repeat that a few times. And just notice that most people will tend to step with the same foot first. Just notice if you have a little bias in your system towards stepping with one foot rather than the other foot. You've got to put yourself back in a more or less neutral position each time. And if you notice that's true for yourself, it probably helps you well, there's another little fun thing. So, before we get to that, step forward with the other foot first. Feel how that feels. Not impossible, obviously. Maybe it feels just a little bit not your hand, a little bit strong. And then here's a funny thing. This will not work for everybody, but it will work for some people. Imagine taking a step forward and kicking a football. For some of you, you'll notice that what felt so unfamiliar, step forward with the abstract second choice foot, will suddenly become very familiar. To me, that tells me that it's not a structural difference in the 2 sides, but it's a difference in the way my brain is organising the movement. Another example would be, notice some people have the arms crossed, so please cross your arms. Now you can do it, you're in the movement, and now crossing the other way. And for some people, unless you're practiced at this is it's kind of strange, right? And obviously it's not a structural thing. It's something about, again, how you're organising movement in the brain. Now, if you point at something on the wall somewhere, and now close one eye, and probably you're still pointing at the thing that you were pointing at. And now switch the eyes over if you can. And a very funny thing happens is that for most people, when you look with the second eye, you're not pointing at the thing you thought you were pointing at. So that shows you again there's a dominance in the eyes. If I don't specify which eye, you'll often look forward with the dominant eye. You line your finger up with that, and then when you switch eyes, you're no longer pointing at the thing. So we have this left-right bias also in the eyes. Okay, so then if you just stand again for a moment, and just notice how you experience the two sides of the universe. I'm just doing that with my hands. It's funny being on downstage. And then close your eyes and just notice. Having done those few little things, maybe they brought some awareness to this difference left and right. That's maybe it's function different. Structurally we're different. You know, the lung is bigger on one side than the other. In men, the left testicle is bigger and hangs lower than the right testicle. 1 in 80,000 people have the difference. Women, one breast is bigger than the other. The spleen and pancreas is on one side, the liver is on the other. In the internal organs, the arrangement is, for most people, one way, but 1 in 80,000 is all reversed, mirror image. Maybe you're the 1 in 80,000. And if you project your attention outside of your body, do you feel a difference in the two sides of the universe? If you split the universe left and right. One side of the universe feels bigger than the other. Now, if you lie down, please. I don't need a bathroom. Actually, before you lie down, just show you this movement. Taking all 4 fingertips towards the thumb, and the thumb towards all 4 fingertips. It's like an Italian movement. I know this is a terrible stereotype, but this can do it. What's the beginning of that movement? If you don't actually touch the fingertips, but you just make the beginning of that movement, it's kind of a closing of the hand. So now if you lie down, and I'd like you to work with your dominant hand. If you're right-handed, you work with the right hand. If you're left-handed, you work with the left hand. Relax the arms, put the hand somewhere near the pelvis, or at the side of yourself, so the back of the hand is touching the floor. Back of the hand is touching the floor. You can rest with your legs bent or with your legs long. If you have a lower back thing going on, it might be more convenient to have your legs standing. And now a few times, just begin to, and close your eyes as well, and just begin to bring your attention to the dominant hand. And just notice the, okay, just pick it, there's only 2, so just choose one, doesn't really matter. Bring your attention to the dominant hand and notice, how big does that hand feel in your awareness? Subjectively, first person. How big does that hand feel compared to the other hand? And now, a few times just begin to close that hand a little bit. So it's the beginning of that movement that I showed you. It's just the beginning of the movement. Maybe it's not even a movement, maybe it's just an imagination of a movement. Often if you imagine a movement, then there's some kind of response in your muscles. How big a movement do you need to make to know that you've made a movement? And you can find what's a nice easy rhythm for you to make that movement. It's kind of like a breathing or something. See if you can find a way to leave the hand relaxed on the floor. Just open the hand and then relax it. So there's a kind of moment of doing, which is the closing, is the doing, and then there's a not doing, which is the letting go. You know the difference between doing and not doing. Next time you do the not doing, rest for a moment, and then do a few movements the opposite. In other words, open the hand, very small. Maybe the fingertips move a few millimeters. And relax. Again, find a nice easy rhythm for that. opening the hand a little bit, relaxed. The opening of the hand is a doing, and the relaxing of the hand is a non-doing. Letting go. And finding a doing. And it might be surprising where the hand falls back to when you relax the hand. Is it the same place as when you relax the hand and close it? Now please continue. So you put those two movements together. So there's a very gentle closing of the hand, or the beginning of the movement of closing the hand, and then there's a relaxing and not doing. And then there's a movement of opening the hand a little bit, and then again there's a not doing, a relaxing. Closing the hand a little bit, relaxing. Opening the hand a little bit, relaxing. And I find a nice easy rhythm for you. It feels really pleasant. Comfortable. Comfortable. It's a movement that you've been doing since before you were born. And then please let go of it and just rest. I know it's a funny thing asking a room full of people not moving very much to rest, but rest your attention. And then just notice how big the two hands feel. There's something changing in perception, in the sensation of your hands, the way you feel. Now please organise yourself so that the leg on the same side of the hand that you've just been working with is long. So you can have both legs long, you don't have to do anything. Or if you have both legs standing, just extend one leg on the floor. Bring your attention to the foot on the same side as the hand you just worked with. And begin a few movements of closing that foot. What would that feel like? Ava showed this morning that the hand, the anatomy of the hand is analogous to the anatomy of the anatomy of the foot is analogous to the anatomy of the hand, but it's not quite the same.
Did you say closing the foot?
Yeah, just closing gently the foot. You could think of a monkey holding onto a branch, a chimpanzee holding onto a branch. And there's a sense that the toe tips move towards each other. Maybe they move a little bit towards the heel, and the heel would move a little bit towards the toe tips. And again, you could play a little bit with this notion of closing the foot is a activity, and then there's a moment of letting go. And check you're not trying too hard. It's not a serious thing. Still breathe, basically relax, and check the tongue in the mouth. And find a nice easy breathing for you. See what you can do to get the movement as smooth as possible. Maybe you could just imagine it, see if there's a response in the tongue and the muscles. And then pause for a moment, and then if you try doing a few movements in the opposite direction. Very gently opening the foot, or imagining opening the foot, and then relaxing. And again, this is an activity and a lack of activity. Except you're always continuing the activity of being alone. So right now you are. Begin to put those two movements together, so you open the foot, you relax the foot, you close the foot. Relaxed. Can you put those two movements together without missing the middle, the bit where you're relaxed? You finish closing before you begin opening, you finish opening before you begin closing. Now, continue with the movement of the foot. You add the movement of the hand to the movement of the foot. So as the foot closes, the hand gently closes. As the foot relaxes, the hand relaxes. As the foot gently opens, the hand gently opens. You can do the movement, or you could imagine the movement. And you get it so those two movements feel like they're one movement, not two movements stuck together. If they're one movement, where's the origin? Where's it begin? Rest your attention. Rest your muscles, rest your attention. Just notice how you experience the two sides of yourself. Is there a difference in the two hands, the two feet? What about in the two sides of the face? Is there any difference related? Is it specifically the hand and foot, or is it more general? Come back and open towards the hand. See how that feels. Would that get easier? And then please leave it. Rest for a moment. This is the beginning of a Feldenkrais class, which will explore lots of different coordinations of the hands and feet. But this is probably enough to bring some kind of change. So now I'd invite you please to roll to the side, see if I can stand up. And in the standing, just notice how do you experience the two sides of yourself. You can close your eyes for a moment. And see, has there been a change in the way you're standing, in the way your body organizes over one foot over the other. And open the eyes, go step, 2 or 3 steps or something, bring yourself to stand again. Close the eyes and just notice, project your attention outside of yourself. What happened to the two sides of the universe? Working with the dominant side like that may have a tendency to accentuate any difference. And then leave it and just go for a little walk. Thank you very much for your attention. If you do feel a big difference in the two sides, you can just watch how it equalizes. It will.